Yeah, hi guys. Welcome to Geeks for Geeks Practice. So we are here with session 3 of mock ICBC programming style, right? Which we are trying to do from the last 2 days, right? So we are again going to see a contest today, okay, which will be based on the same concept of pair programming. That will be done by Anil and Pawan, and you must be aware by now that Anil is a a candidate master at Code Forces, and Pawan is Code Chef. In rating Code Chef, he has a rating of 5 star, and in Code Forces, he's an expert, right? So I hope you are enjoying this series, and we are just to begin in a moment. Okay, so I'll invite Pavan and Anil so that we can begin with today's contest, right? So let's invite Pavan and Anil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello,
hi
Rohit.
Pavan and Anil.
Hello,
Hi.
Rohit.
Yeah, so I hope both of you are doing really good.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. How are you, Rohit?
I'm also good. Yeah, I'm also good.
Yeah.
So it's
So,
great. Like I have been seeing you in last two sessions. Like it's really great. Like in the first session when I was, I had a really good time, and Dhananjay sir was there in previous session. I guess like yesterday's. So that was also
yeah,
fine. So hoping to see something similar. Okay, something exciting today also. Okay. So
exactly.
anyways, like let's wait for let's say 30 seconds or something. Okay, let's wait for a few more viewers to come. Then as we know that one of you will be sharing the screen who will be going with the contest, and we will see a very good example of pair programming, right?
Yeah, we will be discussing the solution, and
Okay.
we will combinedly like come up with a solution, and I will code it, and we will submit it and see how the contest goes.
Okay.
Like it is a
Okay.
real feel of contest how we do uh, programming in team. So it will be like
Right,
that.
right, right.
And
Okay,
uh,
okay. So I think let's begin. Okay, without spending any more time, like over to you, Pavan and Anil. Okay, let's say one of them shares the screen. So Pavan, are you sharing the screen?
yeah, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay, that's great. So I'll be monitoring the session from the background, guys. Okay. So if there are any issues, I'll come. Okay. So over to you. Let's begin, and let's see how it goes. Okay.
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 So,
Yeah.
hi Anil.
Hello.
So again, we are here with one another contest. As the viewer who are following this series know that uh, the first session we were able to solve submit two problem. We have solved all three problems in the contest, and yesterday we have submitted all the three problems correctly. So,
Yeah,
and we have 10 minutes early also. So let's see how it goes today.
sure.
So let me first register for the contest. Um, yeah, so the registration is successful. Let's start the contest.
See.
So let's move on to the problem. See, first let's start with the first problem only,
Okay.
which is count of severity, and the time is 1 hour, and we have to solve the three problems. Yeah. So this is the problem. My screen is perfectly visible, right, Anil?
Yeah, it is visible. It is visible.
Okay. So let's first of all read the problem, and we will then discuss it. Okay. So in this problem, we are given an array of n positive integers. Uh, yes. Then what we have to find is we are defining uh, the value, like we are defining the value of a sub array as the maximum value present in that sub array. Like if some sub array consists of values 1 2 3 4, then 4 is the maximum value, then we can say that the value of this sub array is 4.
Cool.
So this is the definition of the value of a sub array, and our task is to find the total number of sub arrays having value strictly greater than k. So we will be given uh, a variable k also, and we have to count the total number of sub arrays which have the value greater than k. Right, Anil?
Right.
So this is the, let's see the constraints. 1e5. Okay, okay. I think in sample input we are provided test cases also.
Yes, test cases n, k, and array of size n.
Okay, so these two are the test cases. 3 is the size of array and 2 is the value of k. So now let's explain this test case first. So in the first test case, we are given. Should I use that thing? So we are given the array which is 3, 2, and 1, and the value of k is 2, right?
Yes.
The value of k is 2. So here we have to find the total number of subarrays with
Maximum element greater than 2.
maximum element greater than 2. So let's list those subarrays. One is 3.
3
Like-
to 3 to 1.
As we can see that only 3 is greater than 2. So we have to consider all the subarrays which contains 3 only, right?
Yes.
So these are the possible subarrays. So hence the answer is 3. So I think the question is clear now.
What was the second sample?
Okay, let's see the second sample test case also. It is 1 2 3 4, and the value is k. The value of k is 1,
1.
and the array is 1 2 3 4. So now the possible subarrays will be, I think, 2 3
4, 2, 3, 3, 4.
all the subarrays which have the maximum value greater than 1. So there are many arrays, I think.
You can include 1, 2 also. 1, 2, 1, 3.
Yeah,
Not
right,
1,
right. Because in 1 2 the maximum is 2, which is greater
Yes.
than 1.
Then 3, 4.
1 2 3 4. Yeah, there are many. So like that. So I think the question is clear to me. Is it clear to you, Anil?
Yeah, it is clear.
Yeah. So what is the approach here?
1, 2, 3, 4.
So let's take some random test case. Like let me write 2 5 3 4.
The n-cube idea is pretty simple here, that we can check for each subarray whether that subarray is having maximum value greater than k or not.
Yeah, but nested loops will give us TLE because the time limit is quite big. So let's try to find the answer is this. In this case, let's say k, the value of k is 4. Let's take it. Yeah, so let's take the value of k is equal to 4 here.
Okay.
So we know that if the size of array is n, then total subarrays will be equal to
into n plus 1 by 2. Yes.
into n plus 1 by 2, right?
Yes.
So I think we can subtract the the non-required subarrays from the total. This approach
Okay.
will work,
So
in my opinion.
so we'll find the number of subarrays having max element less than equal to k.
Yeah. So for that, we can mark the elements which are greater than equal to, like greater than k. Like here 5 is greater than k, 6 is greater than k,
7,
8
8.
is
Even it
greater
is
than
greater
k.
than 8.
So we if we want to like eliminate those subarrays whose value is less than equal to k, then we shouldn't include these values in those subarrays, right? Because if we include
Yes.
any of these values, then the maximum value will be greater than k. Because if a subarray contains 5, then its value will be of, we can say definitely the value of that subarray will be greater than 4, right?
Okay, so I got it. Yes, we can break off our array into some disjoint subarrays, and none of the subarrays of those subarrays will be required in our answer.
Yeah. So this part here, so in this part we can take all the subarrays which are possible. They will not contain like any value which is greater than 4, right?
Yes, yes, I got it. And we will subtract this from the total count, right?
Yeah, we can subtract this thing from the total, and we can take this also. So these are the subarrays. So I think the solution looks good. Any doubt from the chat can be also taken, but I think this should work, na? Uh,
Yeah,
we
I
can
guess it will work.
prove it also. Yeah, because these parts will not contain any value which is greater than k. So any subarray will मतलब, जितनी भी subarrays होंगी will not have the value which is greater than k. Hence, we can eliminate all these subarrays.
And rest of the all subarrays will have at least one element greater than k in them, so they
Yes,
will be
yes, yes.
included in the answer.
Okay. So I think the approach is fine. So let me code this problem. Okay. So we have to take the test cases. Now we are running the test cases, taking the input. Now, how can we
Okay,
implement it?
okay,
Let
you
us just
forgot to take input
what?
in 10 comma k. There are two inputs. No?
Okay. Yeah, we have to take k also. Let us discuss how can we implement that thing, right?
So we basically need the size of each disjoint array.
Let me take one more example. Then I think things will be more clear. So if I take k is equal to 5, then what I should do is like I just need to find I am marking this and this. So now
Yes.
what I need here, what I need is I just want to know these limits. Like let me
The
mark it
size
as a,
of this portion basically.
yeah. I just want to know the size of this portion, which will come out to be r
R
minus
minus
l
L plus 1.
plus 1, right? So what I can do is I can start traversing from the begin. I will see if it is if it is greater than k, then I will like reinitialize my L value, and if it is less than uh, like for example, it is I will initialize my L is equal to -1 and
I think
R
we
is
can we can do
yeah,
simpler. We can take a count variable now. If we have a value greater than equal to k, let's say we are at 6 and we have a value greater than k, then we will
yeah.
initialize our count variable to 0 and then next
Okay,
we
okay,
go to
yeah,
3.
yeah. Okay, right, yeah. So we can do that way only also, and it is simpler, I think. Yeah, you are right. So what I can do is I can just take one variable equal to sorry. Um, what I can do is I can just take one variable count which will be initialized to 0, and I will start traversing from beginning. This value is uh, less than equal to k, then I will update count as 1. Then I move to this value. It is also less than equal to k, and I will update my count value. I will make count plus plus.
So,
Then I come to
so,
this value. Now this value is greater than k, right?
so
So
now
I
we
know
can
that
update our answer.
yeah. So I know that the size of this subarray is 2, right? So I know that if the size of array is 2, then there will be 2 into 2 plus 1
2
by
plus
2 subarrays possible. So I can subtract this thing from the total value, like total number of subarrays.
1.
So
Yes.
I think this is a pretty easy way to implement it. I'm going to do it this way only. So now, first of all, I know the size of array is n. So the total number of I think I have to include one LL also because it will.
Oh, yes.
So I have to take them in long because 10 raised to the power 5 into 10 raised to the power 5 will exceed the
Let's see.
integer limit. So this is the total number of subarrays possible. Now I will have
0
this
less
way
than I plus plus.
and
If a of I is less than equal to k, then count plus plus.
count plus plus errors and subtracting it.
Count into count plus 1 by 2.
Yeah.
And
And
we should
right,
also subtract. We should also subtract if I is n minus 1, like on the last element of the array.
okay. Uh, okay, so
Else की जगह
you are considering the case if all the if the value of
last
k is
element is less
10
than k.
and 1, 2, 3, 4 is the array, then we have to consider all of them, right? You are talking about this case.
This case and even the case above it, like last element is 5, so we should like take care of the last subarray portion.
Yeah. So
Else की जगह you can write if a of I is greater than k or I is equal to n minus 1.
if a of I is greater than
Greater than k
k
or I
is
is equal to n minus 1. Yeah, it should
right,
work, I guess.
and no problem with the overflow also. So let us run it on example. Oh, I haven't declared the variable answer. No, it is
3 and 9.
it should be 9 and our output is 7. So I think I have missed something.
Count equal to 0. You forgot to reset the count.
Okay. Yeah, I have to reset the count because whenever I am getting uh, any value like which is greater than k, then I have to start a new like new part. So that is why I have to reset my counter to 0 also. Right. Perfect. Yeah, now it is correct. Let me submit it. Correct answer. Now let's move on to the next question. Choose and swap. So let us read this one. Okay. Okay. So you read the question, Anil, right?
Yeah, I read it.
Okay. So let us first explain the question. So in this question, we are provided with a string named s, which consists of
S.
only yeah, which consists of only lowercase English alphabet, like small a to z. And what I can do is I can like choose any two characters which are present in the string, and I can replace all the occurrences of the first character with the second character, and all the occurrences of second character with first character. Basically, I can swap all the occurrences of these two characters, and like the aim is to find the lexicographically smallest string. So I have to print the lexicographically smallest string which we can get. So first of all, let me explain what is the lexicographically smallest string. So basically, lexicographically means the dictionary order. By that I mean like A B. If I have two string A B C D and another string is B A C D, then I can say that like A B C D is less than
Smaller than
BACD.
ABCD.
Yeah. So ABCD is smaller than BACD because this A is less than the first character. And one more example, like B A is this will be greater than A Z. So why I take this example, because in this example we can see that the character which are at the left side, like the beginning characters have the most priority here. Like if the first character here first character is first character of string 1 is greater than first character of string 2, that is why it is greater than the second string. Otherwise all the characters in the first strings are like A, and in it is Z. But that doesn't matter, because here only uh, from the first character we can decide that the first string will be greater. So here like the position, like the beginning position will matter the most. So this is these are the things with the lexicographical order. Now our aim is to find the lexicographically smallest string. So let us see the sample test cases. So in sample test case, uh, we are given this string. So how can we make this smaller, Anil?
So simply I'll say that since we have priority according to like first character, so
Yeah.
I'll try to make the C as A.
Yeah. So we will try to make this first character as small as possible.
Yes.
So how can we? I can choose this A, and I will try to swap it like so. Here one more thing. Like if I am uh, like converting this C to A, then I have to convert all the occurrences of C to into A, right?
Basically, we
This,
are not swapping, we are replacing all the occurrences with between both of them.
yeah. So I will be replacing all the C's with A, all the C's present in the string with A.
And
So
all the A with C should be.
after this operation, the string will be converted to this, and I can make at most one operation. So I think this will be the like most optimal
Answer.
answer. Now, so I think we can approach greedily here. I can move from the starting value, like starting index, and I will try to make it as small as possible, right?
What
So
if first character is also like take A C C A D like
okay, so what you are trying? A C
C C
C.
A D.
Okay, so in this case, what we can do, like let me try first. Like we are starting from A. Now A is the smallest, so we cannot make it more smaller. So it is perfectly placed. Now I move on to C. Now I want to convert this C to A. So I have this A here. Oh, okay. This is the problem. Like if
Yeah,
I convert this C to A and this C to A, then this A will be converted to C and this A also will be converted to C.
right.
And now,
So
now it is not the optimal answer because the leftmost value matters the most. Right. So I cannot just do the greedy thing as such. I have to think some more. ये तो गलत हो जा रहा है ऐसे बढ़ जा रही है ना वैल्यू
what
मतलब
we can do is
दिक्कत क्या आ रही है हम मतलब जो वैल्यूज पीछे आ चुकी हैं उनको चेंज नहीं कर सकते हम क्योंकि वो वी आर अज्यूमिंग दैट द
yeah.
वैल्यूज which we have traveled are optimally
So
placed like
what
when
we
I
can do is we can
हाँ,
maintain a set or like vector of values, vector of characters which have been already discovered. So suppose
yeah
we are at C now. So we will check if we already have a in our vector. Since we have already have a in our vector, so we can't replace our C with our A.
yeah because we can say that because the thing is if I am at this index C then I am assuming that all the values before this C are optimally placed so I cannot touch them because if I make changes to them then it will not give us optimal answer, right?
Right, right.
So this is the case. If I am at this index, then all the values left to it are optimally placed. So I shouldn't do any operation which changes those values. So in this case, if I am like converting this C into A, then this A is also changing. That is why I cannot perform that operation. So yeah, you are right. We just have to like maintain an array like which stores the first occurrences of each of the element. Right? So in this case, what should be the answer? So I cannot convert this C to A and
So
D is
this is
greater than.
already the most optimal answer. We don't have to change it at all.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. This is all. This is already the optimal answer. I cannot do anything in this.
You can
So
take
let us take,
ACCBAD.
let us take one more example. So A C C.
BAD, let's say.
Yeah. So let's try to optimize this. So A is already the smallest, so it is perfectly placed. Now we will try to uh, optimize this
Change
C.
this C.
So as we discussed earlier, I cannot convert it to A because A has already occurred before it. So if I change this C to A, then this A will also be like converted to C, which is not optimal. So we will not be converting this C to A. But here I can convert this C to B because B is also smaller than C. So now
Yes.
if I convert that to B, and this will be B will be converted to C, and this is A. So yeah, so I think this is smaller than the previous one. Yeah, because Why this is smaller than the previous? Because at second index here we are having B, and here second index is C. So B is less than C. Therefore, this is the correct answer. So yeah,
So we have to like track the characters which are occurring before particular position.
yeah. So what we can do is we can like just have an like position array which is of size 26, because there are only 26 lowercase alphabet, and in that we will be just storing the first occurrence of A. Like here
Yeah.
A is like uh, here A is at index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So for A it will store 0, for
B
B it
will
will
store
store
3.
3, for C it will store 1, and all other are empty because there is no D, E, F.
We can store -1 for them.
Yeah, we can store -1 for them. Yeah, so when I arrive at any particular index and it is C, then like if if uh, if at any particular index like if S of I is equal to X, then I just have to uh, search
Check
from
all the characters of less than X.
check all the characters which are less than X from
And
A to X minus 1 character.
and if we want to
And
replace them with X, then position of that character should be greater than X, right?
yeah. So if we want to convert, like if we want to convert S of I equal to X, then position of X should be less than I, right?
It should be greater than I guess.
No. Yeah. Sorry. It shouldn't be present like yeah. So it should be greater than I. Yeah. So like what I mean by position X is greater than I, that it shouldn't be present at the left side of that इंडेक्स, उसके पीछे नहीं होना चाहिए उसको, मतलब अगर पीछे आ रहा है और हम उसे पीछे वाली वैल्यूज हम चेंज नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि वो हम एज्यूम कर रहे हैं पहले से ही ऑप्टिमली प्लेस्ड है. सो अगर हम करंट वैल्यू को एक्स से रिप्लेस कर रहे हैं तो एक्स जो है वो उसके पहले नहीं प्रेजेंट होना चाहिए, तो भी हम इसको चेंज नहीं करेंगे. सो आई थिंक फाइन, सॉल्यूशन सही लग रहा है, ग्रेडी सॉल्यूशन है ना.
Yeah, it will work in I guess n into 26 at worst case. So
या तो वो टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी भी तो देखनी. लेट अस सी द कंस्ट्रेंट फर्स्ट. So the sum of test cases is 1 is 6. Sum of all.
2 is 7 around. It will work, I guess.
Yeah. So I can say that the length of the string is at most 1 is 6, and for each index there are 26 characters. So in worst case I have to search for all of them. So the burst time complexity will be equal to around 2e7, right? So it should work. I think we can make around 1e8 operations in 1 second.
Yeah.
So 2e7 will work fine with the. So let us start coding. So this bits/std_c++ is a header file which we generally include because it consists of all the other, like I don't have to include any other header file individually. I can include this bits/std_c++ and I can do any operation I like. So first of all, we take input the test cases.
String S.
Yes. Now I will be declaring one array named
First occurrence.
first occurrence, and its size will be 26. Now I will initialize all the values of first occurrence to -1. So this is the function called memset. memset के बारे में बता दें क्या करता है?
Basically, memset can be used to initialize char arrays to any default value you want, but it can also be used to initialize integer arrays to 0 and -1 specifically. So if you want to initialize an integer array to say 0 or -1, then you can use memset. The syntax is memset. Then the name of array you want to initialize, comma -1 or 0 the value you want to set, and then size of that first occurrence array or whatever array you are using currently.
Right.
And if you want to initialize arrays to any other element, let's say 5, 10, then you can use fill or fill_n. Those are std functions. You can look them up on the internet.
Right. So now, like, for the sake of simplicity, I am just converting the character value into the integer value. Like, I am subtracting the character a from s of I, which will give me the integer equivalent of that. Basically,
Correct.
s of I will be the ASCII value of that character, and I will be subtracting the ASCII value of a from that. So here, like, if I do this thing, then the integer value of a will come out to be 0, b is 1, c is 2, and likewise. So
Z is 25.
yeah, so this is the thing. Now I will check if this character has occurred or not, like previously occurred or not. So how can I check that? If the first occurrence value is equal to -1, that means that it hasn't occurred before. So I will just mark its first occurrence as I,
Equals I.
because if it hasn't occurred before the current index, then this index itself is its first occurrence, right? So yeah.
That's it. I guess you can start another loop now. Like,
Yeah, so I marked the first occurrences of all the characters. Now I will go to the logic. Now what I am doing is, see, here
what
in the
is
question,
n?
what?
You should replace n with s dot size.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I will replace it with as dot size, because like what we do is we just do this way. We will like store the size in one variable n, and it is just a habit. So in
Yeah, yeah.
flow, I just write it. So now what I was saying, that in the question it is given that we can like do that operation at most one. So we just have one shot to do it. So what we want to do is we want to make most of it, है ना? So for doing most of it, we should have to like apply it like in the beginning part, because the beginning part matters the most. That is why I'm starting traversing from the 0th index, right?
So
Now,
like right now we'll check if we can replace s of I with any other character in this loop.
so like again, I will just do this thing for the sake of simplicity. I am just converting that character into the integer value. Now I will just like if the current character is, say it is C, then what should I do? My first instinct is to convert it to A only, because A is the smallest, right? So I will start from 0. 0 is equivalent to A. So if I will check if I can convert it to A, then I will surely convert it to A only, because if I can convert it. But if I am not able to convert it to A, then I will check for B, and again I will check it for C. And I don't
No, no.
I don't have to I don't have to check it for C only, because it is C itself. So I don't need to check it further, because I want to make it smaller. So yeah, so I just have to run this inner loop to position.
J plus plus.
Yeah. So as we discussed earlier, the condition for like the condition which we have to check is the first occurrence of this should be
After. So
greater than I. Like it shouldn't be
Yeah.
like that character shouldn't be present before the current character. So if this is the case, then yeah, I'm good to go. I can like change. No, if this is the case, then I have my characters, right? So यहाँ पर मैं change ही कर देता हूँ फिर direct ना इसी के अंदर and break कर
हाँ,
दूँगा.
पूरा. Or you can make a function called change and pass the characters, or you can do it here, जैसे भी मर्जी हो.
ना ना यहीं पर ही कर देता हूँ मैं.
चलो ठीक
So
है.
मैं क्या करूँगा कि मैं फिर
एक और लूप चला for int k equal to 0 करके.
let me first store that into like तो वो convenient रहेगा ना. So what are the characters? Like I have to select the two characters, right? So I will be storing the first character in. Yeah. So the first character will be equal to
S of I.
a plus a, and the second character I will be naming it as b is equal to s of I, right?
Yeah.
Now I will be running a loop from n, and if s of k is equal to a, I will convert s of k to b. Like I have to convert all the occurrences, right? That is why I am running this loop. Otherwise, else if s of k is equal to b, then I will convert it into a.
A. And you can break off from here. Like return नहीं कर दे इधर से. String print
हाँ?
करके return नहीं कर दे. String print करके return नहीं कर दे इधर से, वरना दो for loop break करने पड़ेंगे मतलब.
अच्छा अच्छा हाँ ठीक है. Now here I have found when I am performing that one operation. So in the question we have to perform that operation just once. So this is the trick. Many times when we are working with the nested loop, we make this. I personally make these mistakes many times. Like I got the answer and I just break. I write break here. So what is the problem with this? It will just break the inner loop, right? So the outer loop will still it will still go on. So that is wrong because we just have to perform that operation only once. So I should like break both the loops. So here is a trick to do it. I can just see out my answer because I have found my answer here. And as here इधर टेस्ट केस नहीं थे ना शायद.
थे.
टेस्ट केस थे क्या?
रन केस ले लेना चाहिए था जैसा वाला.
नहीं तो कोई नहीं तो then this is the trick here. I can just make this I is equal to s dot size because I am just pointing this I to the end of the loop and I am breaking the inner loop. So by doing this I am just completing the both of my loops, right? So this is the important part here.
And last में you have to print the s now.
And at last I have to print my updated string. तो कोई टाइपो तो नहीं है ना, तूने देखा ना?
नहीं शायद तक.
I think it should work. Like let us compile it. So works on the sample, right? ABB.
Yeah, it is correct.
Yeah, it works on. Let us try submitting it. Yeah, nice. Correct answer. Good feeling. It is very good feeling. Now the final question. Okay. Oh, बहुत छोटी सी statement है. I like this like short and sweet questions.
Given number n, count the total number of divisors of n factorial.
Okay, so it is standard, right? We are just given a number n and we have to count the total number of divisors of n factorial.
Yes.
Okay, what is the constraint here? Here test cases are also there and the value of n is 100. Okay. Yeah. So first of all, the thing is here, one thing should be clear in the mind while solving this problem, that we cannot calculate n factorial. Like if we are calculating, like doing coding in C++, then there is no way we can yeah, there are ways if we like do that in array form and carry, like that carry method to calculate n factorial. But in general, in calculation things, we cannot calculate and store, like we cannot store n factorial in integer or in double. Like that is the thing, because as you can see that the 100 factorial contains 158 digits. 158 digits, which means 10 to the power 157, like 10 to the power
And
157.
even if we can store the number, we can't calculate the number of factors using our naive square root of n wala method, because that will
Yeah.
obviously give TAB.
Yeah, the most optimal method to count all the factors like is in square root of n time. So we
So what we
cannot.
can do is, there's another method to count the number of factors of a number. Let's say we have a number n, and we'll have to find the prime factorization of n, I guess. So if we have prime factorization like this,
Yeah, let me write it. I think.
oh, this is fine, I guess. तो लिख रहा है क्या?
हाँ, मैं लिख देता हूँ ना, ऐसे पावर्स में दिखाई नहीं देता. So like as Anil said, if a number is n, so we can write it in the form a raised to the power p1, like where a is a prime, like p raised to the power वो लिखना चाहिए.
We are basically finding the prime factorization of a number.
Yeah, so as we know that we can write the prime factorization of all the numbers. It is possible. So let us say the prime factorization of n is p raised to the power n, p1 raised to the power n into p2 raised to the power b into p3 raised to the power c. Then we can say that total number of
Factors of n are
factors will be equal to, any guesses?
a plus 1 into b plus
A
1.
plus 1 into b plus 1 into c plus 1. So this is the pretty standard like thing we learned in 12th mathematics, and it is very simple. So because for each factor we are having like a plus 1 option, like here p1 is occurring a times, then we are having a plus 1 option, like we can take it 0 times, 1 time, 2 times, ऐसे करके
to
a
a
times
times.
तक.
Yeah.
So we will be having a plus 1 options. Similarly, for b, we will be having b plus 1 options, and for c plus 1 options. So the total number of like combination, like permutation and combination will come out to be like this: a plus 1 into b plus 1 into c plus 1. So this is the thing. So this is the catch in this problem. Now, Anil, carry on.
So I guess what we can do is we can find the number of, like we will find the prime factorization. I will write up to 3 only. Prime factorization of only all the numbers up to n, and we will maintain a array. Let's say prime count. We will maintain a prime count array which will count the number of primes. So let's say we have 1, 2, let's say n equal to 4. So we will take 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 का तो कोई prime factor है नहीं, so nothing. 2 के prime factor is 1, is 2 itself, and 3 के prime factor is 3 itself. 4 का prime factor is 4 itself. No, I mean 2 into 2, 4 is 2 into 2. So what we can do is we will increment, like we'll store the count of each factor in our prime count array, count of each prime factor.
Okay, so what you are saying, I think what you mean by this, जो मेरे को समझ में आ रहा है कि like अगर n factorial हमें कैलकुलेट करना होता है, तो उसके लिए मान ले फॉर एग्जांपल हम ले लेते हैं कि हम 10 फैक्टोरियल अभी काउंट कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? तो उसके लिए हमें क्या चाहिए होगा, 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into ऐसे करके 10 तक, राइट? तो what I can understand, like तो ये कह रहा है कि we should count the prime, like number of factors of 2 individually, number of factors of 3 individually, number of factors of 4 individually, likewise number of factor of 10 individually, and we can like add up, like we can add up those factors, like to
I'm
get
not
the final.
saying we should count each number of factors. I'm saying we'll find the how many times each prime factor occurs up to 10, like number of times prime factor 2 appears up to 10, number of times 3 appears up to 10, number of times 5 appears up to 10, like that.
So if we have one number n1, which is of the form P1A, P2B, and P3C, and we have another number which is of the form P1B.
X, let's say P1X
Okay,
uh,
P1X,
and
P2Y,
P4Y.
and P4Z,
Yeah.
right? So the total number of factors of n1 into n2 will come out to be what?
Can you scroll down a bit like
Okay. Just a minute.
रैंक फ्लैग हो रहा था ऑलरेडी.
हाँ, क्या कह रहे हैं? हेलो,
अबे उधर ही कुछ ज्यादा ही हो रहा था, मतलब एकदम छोटा छोटा दिख रहा है.
देखो
राइट में लिख लो ना, लेफ्ट में
ऐसे
लिख लो.
स्क्रॉल डाउन इस साइड लिखता हूँ मैं.
हाँ.
मैं इसको क्लियर करके फिर से लिखता हूँ. टाइम कितना रह गया? 18 minutes. Okay, much enough time, I think. So, what we are discussing is, if we have one number n1 whose prime factorization is p1 raised to the power a into p2 raised to the power b into p3 raised to the power c, and we are having one another number whose prime factorization is p1 raised to the power x, p2 raised to the power y, and p4 raised to the power z.
Yeah.
Then what we can say about the number of factors of n1 into n2, right?
So we can directly like use the law of exponents and say the power of p1 in n1 into n2 will be a plus x.
Yeah. So here we can say that n1 into n2, so the p1 will be occurring a plus x times,
Yeah.
p2 will be occurring b
b
plus
plus
y
y
times,
times.
p3 will be c, and
Yeah.
p4 will be equal to
Z
z,
times.
right? So what we just need to do here it is clear, like we can individually count the like number of prime factors of each number, and if we want to like get the total number of prime factors of their multiplication, we can just add the exponent, right? This is the law of exponent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so carry on, Anil. So approach क्या थी फिर?
So like either we can like go from 1 to n, we will factorize each number. एक वेक्टर में उसके सारे फैक्टर्स स्टोर कर लिए, लाइक से x के सारे फैक्टर एक वेक्टर में स्टोर कर लिए, प्राइम फैक्टर्स, एंड देन उस वेक्टर को इटरेट करके वी विल इंक्रीमेंट द काउंट इन अ हैश अरे व्हिच विल काउंट द नंबर ऑफ प्राइम फैक्टर्स टोटल.
Okay, right. We can use hash array because if a number is like less than equal to 100, so उसके सारे factors भी less than equal to 100 ही होंगे for sure.
Yeah.
है ना? Factors
Or
can
what we
also
can do is we can like use that formula like power of k in n factorial. So we'll calculate power of 2 अलग से, power of 3 अलग से, ऐसे power of each prime up to n in n factorial. And take product
yeah,
of
that formula ना ऐसे 100 by 2 plus 100 by 2
Yeah.
की power
100 by 4 2 square, 100 by 2 cube. Yes.
अरे
yes,
ये
yes,
तो अभी याद आ गया 2 की power 3 ऐसे करके. So like this will give us the power of 2 in 100 factorial.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let me write it. It is a very interesting thing. मेरे को भी अभी just याद आ रहा है, तो I am very interested in. So what the formula says is for any prime number, for any number or any prime number.
For any prime number, it is all prime numbers only.
Okay, so for any prime number p,
Yeah.
power of p present in n factorial, we can denote it as like capital P of np, right?
Yeah.
Will be equal to n upon p raised to 0 से शुरू होता है.
No. We have to start from 0. I think we start from n by p.
Yeah, n by p.
Yeah.
N by p raised to the power 1, n by p raised
No.
to the power 2. Hello.
नहीं, we will not take n by p की पावर 0 क्योंकि उससे तो n से
Yeah.
ज्यादा होने की गारंटी मिल रही है, वो कुछ करना होता है.
Yeah, I am starting from p raised to the power 1 only.
Yeah, that's fine.
n by p raised to the power 3
ऐसे डॉट 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 जब तक
and
नॉन
so
जीरो
on.
टर्म्स है.
जब तक ये जब तक this value is greater than 1, greater than equal to 1, of course, right? So
Yeah.
this is the formula, straightforward formula. So
Yeah.
now approach is, I think, pretty simple. For if we are having a number n, then we will be traversing
All the primes up to n.
All the primes up to n. So I think I should implement it now, because we should travel we should count all the powers of all the prime using this formula up to n, and we will be just taking the product of them, right?
Yeah, product of them like एक ऐड करके.
हाँ, मतलब p plus 1 का product. Okay, so I should code it because only 30 minutes are left now. Again, it is a time pressure situation. अगर कोई भी ऐसे कंपाइलेशन वगैरह एरर आ गई तो फिर छूट ही जाता है. So we should play safe.
You have t test cases and the number n.
Let's see if we can do it or not today. So input is just n. What I need to do is I just have to find. So I can manually check them, right? Because number is so small, like up to 100.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't have to make the sieve only. Sieve.
Like test cases कितने हैं बस? Number of test cases.
It is not given in the constraint. Let's see. I am just checking it using this prime function.
Cool. But I don't think it will give really, like, of course shouldn't.
Any doubts can,
But-
like, if chat has any doubt, they can ask. We will answer after submitting it. Or we can also write if it is clear, so that we know you are with us. How can we check if any divides I? Then we will return 0. Right, function से है नहीं prime वाला.
Yeah, except for it will return 1 is prime.
Yeah, it will be return 1 if that number is prime. So now I think I don't have to make a hash array also. I can just
Yeah, you can just traverse
check it
0.
manually.
For int I equal to 2. You should
Yeah.
start traversing from 2.
First prime starts from 2. That is why I'm starting this loop from 2. I'm checking if my current
You should pass I to the is prime.
yeah. I will check if my I is prime or not. Then if it is equal to prime, then I can make one more function here. Int count power.
Legendary. Okay, you can write count power. The name of that formula is legendary's formula, I guess.
Okay, yeah, legendary. It is legendary formula, I believe. So I will pass these two values. So I can just
While n by p.
by n by p is greater than 0, I can add answer plus equal to n by p. I can
You should
p into p, right?
p into, no. You should do p into equal to x और p को पहले x में store कर ले.
Okay, I have to. नहीं, p into p करें, power बढ़ा रहे हैं ना हम लोग.
हाँ, तो पावर बढ़ाने के लिए उसको याद तो रखना पड़ेगा ना किससे मल्टीप्लाई करना है, तो
Okay,
इससे
okay.
multiply
But,
करना.
yeah.
p into equal to x. Yeah.
And I will return answer. सही है ना? कोई इसमें वो तो नहीं, लॉजिकल एरर तो नहीं आएगी.
सही है.
Infinite भी चला जाए. So I think this is fine. And if I is prime, then I will store count power, function is count power. I will pass n and I will do answer is equal to Like I will multiply x plus 1 to the answer, right?
Yeah.
As we discussed earlier in the formula.
You can
So
just print answer now, I guess.
I think I have to make answer long or it will work. If I am
Number of factors of 100 factorial.
it could like we shouldn't
नहीं,
take
of
risk.
course long होगा, of course long होगा, क्योंकि
Yeah.
वन ही कितने factors होंगे?
You can prove it
157
later. Time situation में जब ऐसा रहता है तो we have to play safe. We can prove
Around
and these
10 की
things
power
later.
40 factors, around 10 की power 40 factors, I can say.
Oh my god. तो
नहीं, 10 की power 40 होंगे क्या? That is the upper bound as far as I remember.
yeah. Compilation है. Okay. ये नहीं देखा तुमने? std c++.
क्या error था वैसे?
bit slash stdc++ stcd++ लिख दिया.
अच्छा, STCD.
816, is it correct? I don't know. Yeah, it is correct. Submit it. Can I submit
Yeah,
it?
of course. Submit it, of course.
Yeah, let's see. Finger crossed. Yoo-hoo. Correct answer. So today we are managed to do the contest. All the problems with 8 minutes remaining. Yeah, so it is very good.
And login versus gluten.
Huh?
नहीं, I was just checking the time complexity of both the like implementations using a hash array versus using the legendaries formula.
Yeah, Fayaz. अच्छा, question क्या था Fayaz? All courses on Geek. अच्छा, okay. हाँ. Sorry, Anil.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, guys. So that was really nice. Like early खत्म हो गया, so that was really great.
Yeah, today
Okay,
we
so-
managed to do it 8 minutes early, unlike
Yeah,
the first session.
The first session was also good. Like it got submitted at the end, I believe. But so I
Yeah, I
guess the
submitted,
network
but-
is good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But it's fine. बढ़िया था. Like now we can have a look at the comments if there are any doubts.
Yeah, Ayush was saying something. I'm sorry, I was not able to see these comments during like while I was solving. So Ayush.
So Ayush, any doubts right now? Like if you can ask, like after the contest is completed, or is it clear? Like meanwhile, अगर अनिल पवन आप कुछ कर सकते हैं तो ठीक है. Because I feel ये in between the questions के थे, right? So if he still has those doubts, then he can post it. And
No. Ayush was suggesting a solution which is like perfectly fine. He like the solution which we
Okay.
discussed. He was on that track also. So well done, Ayush. And with
कौन
one
सा-
operation,
Discuss.
first वाले का उसने लिखा
अच्छा.
था कि वही ना
Okay.
nearest like it was also a solution which he like discussed earlier, storing nearest larger left and nearest larger right. I was also thinking about that, but I think that will require like some stack and that implementation. So we like the code which we did was like shorter than that, and that is why we go for that approach. That's fine.
Okay, guys.
With one
So-
approach, I don't know what he was mean with one operation. So okay, I think
So,
any doubt,
Yeah,
any
like-
other doubt are welcome.
yeah, audience, please, you can throw your doubts now, like if there are any.
Yeah. And meanwhile, let me finish this test. It is good
Okay,
to see
so-
all the questions solved. I can finish this again. Okay. So I guess there are no.
Questions.
Okay, guys. So as I see that there are no questions from the audience, so thank you, Anil and Pawan. Thank you so much. Like it was really great. Again, a very good visualization, or rather, I would say a presentation of pair programming. Like I really loved it. So I hope like we as a team, and to be more specific, Anil and Pawan as a team are able to add value in terms of coding to the audience. and we will be coming up with similar kind of streams in the future also. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining Geeks for Geeks practice. Stay tuned for our further sessions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rohit.
Thank you, Pavan and Anil.
Thank you, Rohit.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you.